Can you tell us really quickly, what is the core focus of SimpleHealth?
The core focus is what you said, Albert, to make healthcare simple, right?
Yeah.
It's very bureaucratic nowadays. You would think in 2022 it will only get easier, but to be honest, it's gotten harder. It takes forever to get an appointment. Insurance companies are very, particular who you can go see, referrals and all that. So what we really are trying to do is to take the lower things that you actually don't need to go and get physical care for and bring it online. Not to say we're going to replace, going and get your pap smear or mammogram. But what we want to do is collect the data to augment some of these physical health appointments when you go see your doctor.
Gotcha. And so telemedicine is on the rise. We've had a couple different guests that represent different companies that are in this space, but it sounds like SimpleHealth, you're very focused. You're going to be working on female health issues specifically.
Well, Albert, there's no shortage of women's health here. The market is $275 billion. There's a lot of stuff we can do, starting from fertility preparedness. 27-year-olds often think, like, what do I need to do to sort of have a good fertility journey? We just launched perimenopause assessments. The interesting part of that was that people who are 35 years old are starting to think about perimenopause. That's interesting because think of, like, our parents. Our parents back in the day associate menopause with being 60 years old. Menopause now can start as early as 40 or even in late 30s. So I would say as generations change and habits change, obviously hormones are changing. So what we're really trying to do here at SimpleHealth is get you, when you're in your sexual wellness phase, collect all that data. So it looks like you missed your period for 6 months. Come back into our flow, you may be perimenopausal. So at SimpleHealth, we're trying to take the entire flywheel from consultation to doctor's appointments to prescriptions, because we also deliver prescriptions, as well as feeding you what I would say wellness items such as, supplements today, but tomorrow we're actually going to roll out more products on our website.
Telemedicine is pretty interesting in regards to that. Like we saw recently, I think it was certain companies, their stock price fell because people are now returning to the doctor's office. One of the things that's always been a challenge with telehealth is that there's a level of intimacy or feeling open or exposed or, whatever the fear is, there's some fear that people like to have in privacy. How did the company start beginning to lower that fear to make it more acceptable? Was it a natural desire from your customer base that they wanted this option, or did you guys have to engineer solutions to say, hey, we're going to take care of your privacy. We're going to make this intimate. We're going to make this all about you.
So Albert, I want to be clear, I wasn't the founder, but the founding team did think about these things. And so, but what I would say is, because of my own personal health journey, I really am focused on keeping it very intimate, keeping it very one-on-one as much as we can. So, just a little bit about me. I'm half Black, half Chinese. I grew up in the Caribbean. At age 11, I was diagnosed with a disease called dystonia, movement disorders, very similar to Parkinson's. I've lived through the healthcare system. I've lived through being called, you're making this up, you're not right. Discrimination is very real, and in the healthcare system, how you show up, how what types of purses and jewelry you have. And so one of the things that I wake up every morning excited for is to read customer feedback, especially when we get ones like, hey, I'm disabled. This sort of journey on SimpleHealth has allowed me to have 4 or 5 pain points be, dissolved because I don't have to leave my couch, right? Think about, you don't think about, as an able-bodied person, you don't think about having to go to the doctor, come back home, go to the pharmacy, come back home. If it doesn't work properly or you have bad side effects, going back to the doctor and coming back home. With SimpleHealth, you can do all of that online.
Hey, thanks for watching. This segment is brought to us by Salesforce Platform. Visit salesforce.com/newsletter to discover timely insights and useful tips tailored to your role. Subscribe to this channel and get more great IT and tech interviews with top industry leaders.